Hello everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's happy 2024, and it is going to be a great year, as always.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure it will be.
Mark's starting off the year not feeling too great,
I feel unwell.
but that's okay. I'm probably going to be doing most of the talking today,
Yeah, I pushed through for you people.
but he's a trooper. He's a
Sure
trooper.
am.
So
Probably one of your cousins that showed up to Christmas sick.
I'm sure everybody has someone that showed up sick, and maybe it's just because, like once everybody gets together,
Mm-hmm.
germs spread, like after gatherings.
Don't care.
Anyways,
Don't feel well.
2024
2024, can't wait.
is going to be a great year, as is any year, I think. I think anybody who goes to Disney, including myself, says that every year is the year or the best year to go. But really, 2024 has a lot going on.
Does it?
It does. Like a lot.
Like 10 things?
I have 10 reasons why you should go to Walt Disney World in 2024.
I can't wait.
Now, these are in no particular order, so they're not ranked as far as, it's just the best way they flow together. That makes sense, Well, let's start with resorts. Fort Wilderness is going to have a major overhaul. You've been hearing, maybe, if you're keeping up with any YouTube or other podcasts or even just social media, that Fort Wilderness has some new cabins being refurbished.
They do, and just to be clear for folks who may not be familiar with it, Fort Wilderness is different from the Wilderness Lodge,
yes.
which is a hotel.
Correct.
Fort Wilderness is the campground, and
Right.
traditionally there are campsites where you can bring your RV, your mobile home, whatever, and or a tent if you really wanted to. I don't know why you'd want to camp like that in Disney.
Why not?
but I don't know. Doesn't seem like something I'd want to do
Like
unless
bugs?
I live there. If I live there, maybe, but
Yeah.
traveling on vacation, I don't think I'd want a tent. But it is much cheaper, of course, than staying in a hotel. Or there are also cabins that you could rent. And so those cabins are being overhauled and turned into DVC.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
So this
for us,
resort,
especially being
DVC members, yes.
Disney Vacation Club, for those of you who are not in the know.
The acronyms that get thrown around in the Disney World. This resort, campground area, opened in 1971, and it's just 5 weeks younger than Walt Disney World itself.
Wow.
However, it was not ready when Walt Disney World opened. But do you know what resort was ready?
The Polynesian.
The Polynesian. And that is another resort that is getting an expansion, not an overhaul or a big refurbishment, but a big expansion. And that is getting a whole new tower of DVC villas and deluxe studios.
For DVC folks, this is kind of cool for us because traditionally the Polynesian only had deluxe studios, which is very limiting, and didn't have too many of them, so it was tough.
It was hard to get into.
And like the last trip we went on, we stayed in a 2-bedroom villa, and that was never an option at Polynesian.
No, you'd have to get. We would have to get multiple deluxe studios instead of just pulling the points to get a bigger suite.
But now there is that option. So with this new DVC tower opening, we'll have those extra rooms. The one fear I have.
What?
The one fear I have with this
You have a fear about it?
is aesthetics.
I
I
mean,
think that a
they
lot of
said,
folks are worried about whether or not this new tower is going to fit into.
and I can see that,
visually.
but they are trying to visually keep it themed appropriately.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know. I can't tell you the future. That's what they say.
I know.
I mean, I know they're
You
trying
just
to
see
keep
the
everybody
construction
happy.
and it's
I know.
Slightly disconcerting.
Yeah, but this is supposed to have an amazing view of the parks, especially being up so high.
I'm sure it will, and fireworks.
Yeah, so that is going to be a really, really cool thing. That's pretty much it for the resorts as far as really big things that...
And those cabins at Wilderness Lodge do look really kind of cool.
No, they do.
They almost look like one of our friends his family has one of those park models, they call them, in a campground up in New Hampshire. And it looks very similar to like the layout and the look and the style of those.
Yeah.
Just kind of
cool. A little bigger, I feel like, than what people would think of, like wider.
Yeah.
A little wider than what you would think of for like a park model, like at a campground. But no, they do look really cool. So I know that they actually had them on the DVC Christmas tree in Disney Springs. They had they had little cabins like stuck on the tree. So
That's
it was like a foreshadowing tree of like things to come in the future.
And those are going to open in 2024?
Yeah.
They're projected to?
Projected.
And the Polynesian is projected to be finished this year too?
Hopefully. All of it's, hopefully.
Well, hey, that's cool.
So leaving the resorts and going into the parks, there's a lot of stuff happening when it comes to the parks and the overall functioning of them. Biggest thing that is, I think, driving people to go to Walt Disney World now is that you are no longer going to need a park reservation.
Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, it will no longer be required for you to make your park reservations before you go. So
I've had a love-hate relationships with the reservations. I do think that they helped to keep numbers down, especially in the COVID area, spreading people out. But at the same time, like, we saw some things that just were kind of poopy, for lack of a better way of putting it. One story that jumps out to me was a family who was staying in the beach club area like us.
Yeah.
We were walking through the International Gateway, and this family had plans. They had reservations for Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. They were going to go eat at like the Polynesian or something. So they were going to walk through Epcot
to get on
enter the International Gateway, walk through to the front, get on the monorail, and take the monorail over to the Magic Kingdom loop on the monorail. Well, they couldn't do that, and they had to get turned away and turned around by the security and sent back.
And then you have to now pay. We ran into this too when we went to the Polynesian for breakfast when we were just there. Because you can't have that shortcut of walking through, that little hack.
Depending on how late
you were. But
if you could take the bus to Magic Kingdom, you could take the bus to Magic Kingdom and still take the monorail to the Polynesian.
Yeah, but that's kind of late.
Pay.
If you get a breakfast first
but
thing and you want to get to Magic Kingdom
you're
first
going to have to take a minivan or an Uber or something.
Which means you have to pay.
It's going to cost you money.
And, so this eliminates that.
And we watched it happen, and the security guard felt so bad about it, and he's like, yeah, I don't know why we have to do this, but, like, you don't have a reservation here, you can't just walk through.
So you would even need, that's the thing about the reservations, that you would even need a reservation just to plan on walking through somewhere. But even still, you still can't get into that next park until 2 p.m.
Right.
Which brings up our next thing, is that all-day park hopping is now back.
This is also very nice.
Again, eliminating that stress and time of, well, we can't do anything in a different park until 2 p.m. You now can, like this situation, if we just stay with this scenario, you could then walk into Epcot, scan yourself in, walk over to the monorail, get on, go to the Polynesian for breakfast, get back on the monorail, and head to Magic Kingdom, all within, the first 3 hours of your morning. And you don't have to worry about, well, we have to wait and we have to do this and blah, blah, blah. But I just informed Mark, pre-recording, that there are going to be a little bit of hiccups, I think, when this opens up as far as lightning lanes and virtual queues.
Well, and it's not for everybody either.
It's not.
Day-based tickets, which chances are if you are going on vacation,
Right.
you're going to purchase a day-based either park hopper or a standard ticket to go for 7 days.
Right.
Whatever. Like, that specifically is what is now without the reservation system.
Right.
Certain annual passes and things are still going to have that requirement.
Right. Now I'm thinking, do you think a 1-day ticket also has that requirement?
I think that's a day-based ticket.
No, it's a day-based one. So no. So it would be something like you said, annual passes and other things like that. But yeah, so it's a little confusing, and I myself, even as a travel agent, I'm still trying to figure that out. I've been told what it is, but for me, it's like actually doing it helps me learn how to do it. But basically, because there is no time requirement to your park hopping, it is still advised to do park reservations for days, or if you're going a specific time of year where these parks will reach capacity. Now, I feel like these parks have only ever reached capacity around like Christmas.
It's usually Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the major holidays. So I personally have never seen like when we've gone in August a park reach capacity.
No, it's very rare. It's usually on major holidays.
Yeah, so I guess if you are planning on going on a major holiday like that, I would do park reservations anyway. But they say that because if you're going to join a virtual queue,
I think this is more important for any time of year is the virtual
there's a virtual queue one. Yeah.
And it makes sense, though, in the sense that, like, if I'm going to Magic Kingdom and I can get my virtual queue through Genie Plus, or just the Genie platform at 7 a.m. if I'm staying in a resort hotel.
Let's say for Tron.
Well, Disney doesn't know that I'm going to Magic Kingdom until I scan in there.
Right.
But at 7 o'clock, I am eligible to make that virtual queue reservation, or I'm eligible to make that Genie Plus reservation.
Mm-hmm. So they'll kind of know where you're going based on if you get those reservations.
So it would behoove you, knowing that you're going to a Guardians of the Galaxy or a Tron, to get a park reservation that day. Where this gets really interesting and
the
cool,
afternoon.
Though, is you could make a reservation for Magic Kingdom at 7 a.m., get your virtual queue for Tron, also scan in at Epcot when Epcot opens, and get a virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy. So now you can double up on two of the biggest rides in the parks
same day.
In the same day, which before, under the old system, just wasn't possible.
Yeah. I think that's why they're advising people, though, if you have a virtual queue later in the day, let's say, I mean, this is all scenario, and this is all on the fact that if the park is even going to reach capacity. But it's good to kind of keep this in mind. If you go to Magic Kingdom in the morning and you didn't know that Epcot reached capacity and you have a virtual queue or a lightning lane, you can now not get into Epcot.
Right.
Because it reached capacity. Regardless.
You can only park hop if the park can.
Regardless if you paid for a lightning lane or got a virtual queue. Like, that doesn't matter. So it kind of gives you a little safety net if you just get a park reservation, just in case. I don't think I'm going to not recommend them. If you know what parks you want to do, at least get a park reservation maybe, but it's not required.
Right.
And
I think the better part, too, is that gives you some flexibility, right? And you're not committed to it.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing for people is the commitment part and having that flexibility back and not being so rigid.
Right.
Now, if they could just...
And it's not to say that, like, before, right, you could have planned on going to Animal Kingdom on the Friday.
And then change it.
And then that morning been like, we've already done enough of
But then you have to get on the app and you have to change the
But then you run the risk of maybe
you get into the other one.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so this one you kind of do alleviate some of that thing. But I think the biggest thing that people want to see back, Disney, if you're listening, is picking your lightning lanes and stuff before you go and having the 3 free ones before you go like it was before.
There's inklings of
I really hope it comes
things
back.
like that may be coming back.
That would be like the saving grace, I think, for a lot of people. I think a lot of people want to see that back. Anywho's, let's move into the parks a little deeper and let's talk about a new restaurant. Or should I say tavern. that is coming to Magic Kingdom. And that is the Pirate Tavern.
Ah.
I don't know if that's going to be its actual name. Probably not. Probably going to be something cooler than that. It's going to be in Adventureland, in Animal Kingdom, near pirates.
In Animal Kingdom.
I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah. Yo ho, all the way to the Tree of Life. It's going to be in Adventureland in Magic Kingdom, somewhere near the Pirates ride. I would assume that it's probably going to go where like Dry Tortugas is, or Tortuga Tavern. That's a national park. Dry Tortuga.
It is. Tortuga Tavern.
Okay, I'm having a hard time with this apparently. Anyways, it's going to be pirate themed. People are really excited about this. I think it's going to be really cool. I think it'll just add something more to pirates. And I know that's your favorite ride. And it will add even more to that little area that I just think it's a cool Spanish themed area to begin with. And I think that whole area near pirates is themed really, really well.
It is. And Magic Kingdom needs better restaurants. What kind of irritates me about this choice, though, is that this is in Adventureland.
I know.
And Skipper Cantina, which I would argue is one of the better restaurants in Magic Kingdom as it is also in Adventureland.
We'll get to that.
So,
but different parts of it.
You have...
Skipper Cantina is
if this turns out to be a really good restaurant, you have them right next to each other. And Tomorrowland is over there.
No.
And its little island. And Tomorrowland has nothing. What does it have? Cosmic rays? Kapooey. Disgusting. Hate cosmic rays. So, like, what is that part of the park
Listen. Skipper Canteen, I feel like a lot of people don't even know exists. I feel like a lot of people don't even know. Because when you walk by it, it's not in your face. You pass the Orange Bird Terrace. What? I'm having a really hard time right now. Check my pulse. Am I okay? Right past that, though, it's like hidden. It's like around a corner and it's like hidden.
It's well themed.
But it's hidden.
Anyways,
you have to
Magic
walk quite
Kingdom
a bit of ways.
Needs more restaurants.
You could say the same thing about Pecos Bills. It's right around the corner from Adventureland.
Yeah, but Pecos Bills is more Frontierland.
I know, but it's if Pirates is almost like the halfway point between Skipper Canteen and Pecos Bills. But I can understand you saying that side is very heavy.
It is.
With quick service things. And the other side doesn't have much. And other things. And sit down
restaurants.
Right. All right. I can see that. I guess Tomorrowland maybe needs
But that is exciting
something.
That...
Yeah, you really just knocked the wind out of my sails,
needs a few better restaurants in Magic Kingdom. Better food choices.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a good one. Better than your basic quick service Cosmic Rays. And
Kapooey.
Cool theming and all of that jazz.
Yeah, Pegleg Pirate Pete. What is his name?
Pegleg Pete the Parrot.
There we go. That was his name.
There you go.
Yeah. Used to be outside of Pirates. Is apparently going to make a cameo in the restaurant.
He's going to be maybe somewhere in there. So
that's cool.
A lot of OG Disney fans are going to be excited about his
Disney
return.
Aficionados.
Sure. So, that's really it for restaurants. I mean, as far as new things, rides and attractions. So we can go through this a little bit. We're in Magic Kingdom, so let's just stay there. Country Bear Jamboree. Is getting a little show refurbishment. I don't think the actual animatronics and set are getting a refurbishment, but there's going to be a new song or songs. I feel like it's just one, but it's going to...
I thought it was an entirely new audio. Like
new
it's an entirely
show.
New
So it
show.
might be. It's gonna
same premise, same bears that you know
and it's
going to
incorporate more Disney classic songs.
But with a country flair
to them and to fit kind of the story of the Country Bear Jamboree. So even I think the people who really liked Country Bear Jamboree, me personally, I have never been a fan. I always found it kind of boring and stale.
Heresy.
But I feel like even people who are fans were feeling kind of the same way. Like, okay, maybe it's time for something else.
It's getting a little refresher, that's all. That's cool.
And I think the songs
a reason
really
to go back
didn't...
and see.
I don't think the original songs had anything to do with like magic. It just didn't bring me. I don't know. Just not my favorite show. It's okay.
Older style Disney though that didn't need the all the movies in your face all the time.
Yeah. Like,
which was
okay,
nice.
All right. I
But
understand.
I understand why they're refreshing it.
Yeah, me too.
A reason to go see it in 2024, for sure.
Yeah, I would like to go see it, see the old and new comparison, see which ones. Let's jump over to Epcot. Because we have a few things going on here in 2024. One of them is, it already had happened, like the opening of it, and that's the Journey of Water featuring Moana. Now that's been open since October of 2023. However, I feel like it's gotten some kinks out. They've opened it to more people. I think people have voiced their suggestions or comments and blah, 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 blah. And I think they've worked out a lot of, some other stuff. So it's definitely not brand new for 2024, but pretty close to new. So definitely a reason to go to Epcot. Another thing is going to be World Celebration.
I was going to say, the
finally
whole center
opening
of the park
up.
is open now,
Yeah.
finally.
So that in and of itself.
No more construction
No more
walls.
walls.
It's
Tear
going to
down
be
the
great
walls.
to just walk right across.
And you can actually go to the center of Epcot again,
You
which
can.
was my favorite part of
You can.
Epcot.
In the videos that I've seen of what they did, it looks really, really nice.
Yeah.
So.
They have the new
And the
statue
Walt
of Walt.
statue is very cool, so.
Another big one. Might sting a little bit if we're not quite ready to let go of Harmonious. Mark. We weren't ready to let go of Illuminations, and then we got attached to Harmonious, and now a brand new light sound firework extravaganza is going to be this Luminous, the Symphony of Us.
It already has debuted.
It already has debuted, but a brand new show going into 2024. And I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. Have you seen the videos of it?
I've not seen any videos of it, but from what I hear, there's a lot more pyrotechnics and the fireworks are more impressive.
That's good, though. That's good. I mean, we need to step up our game in some way to make it better than even Illuminations. Still salty about it, but I really liked Harmonious, and I was afraid it wasn't going to be an Illumination, so I'm hoping that Luminous is the same way how we feel about Harmonious now. And it will outweigh it, and we will love it.
Maybe. We'll see.
But yet another reason.
But a reason to go see.
Star Tours. Let's go over to Hollywood Studios. All right, from Epcot, let's take... What are we taking? Let's take the boat over to Hollywood Studios. And we will visit a new... Well, not a new ride. Just one that is getting some new scenes.
An old ride.
An old ride that is getting a little update. And that is Star Tours. It's getting some new scenes. People are very excited about Disney Plus and the new series of Ahsoka. She is going to be in some of these scenes, as they've added in, like, the Mandalorian.
They've been very good with this ride.
Adding on to the storyline.
The new movies,
Characters.
as well as the old movies, the Mandalorian series, the Ahsoka series.
Still not my first pick out of the Star Wars rides. It gets me a little sick.
Yeah, it's older technology, but...
I think it's the 3D, honestly. I don't even think it's like... I don't know.
It's definitely older technology.
It's older, but they are keeping up with the times. So we'll see new scenes. We'll see Ahsoka. We'll see, all our favorite original characters and stuff like that. But just new scenarios, new scenes, new planets, all of that fun stuff.
Very cool.
That's pretty much it for rides right now. And a really big one. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting a really big one. Hopefully it's done. Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Ah, yes.
Let's go back to Magic Kingdom. Forgot about her. If you don't know, if you live under a rock, you know that you don't know that.
Or under a briar patch, maybe more appropriate for this.
You're living under some thorn bushes. Splash Mountain is no longer with us. It is going to be replaced by Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And that should be debuting in 2024.
Should.
Tentatively.
It does seem like they're making a lot of progress.
It does.
Though, so.
There's a lot of videos and pictures and updates on a lot of it.
I'm very excited.
I mean, it makes sense because it's not like they were changing the whole ride mechanism. They're just kind of re-theming. So it shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, it's the show elements. It's not the ride itself.
Yeah, it's not the ride itself. So very
Splash
excited
Mountain's
about that.
my favorite ride, or was my favorite ride. So I'm very eager to see what they do with this.
And hopefully,
excited.
We know that Disney does. They know they have to top the original. And that's hard to do. So, all right, now I think I'm done with rides. New to 2024 that people are very excited to have back. Drum roll, please.
This is like, hold on, that's like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You know, everybody outside
Drum
waiting.
roll.
And then click, nothing.
But no, we're going to go.
Are we going to do something? Okay.
Dining plans.
Dining plans,
The dining plans are back.
Something that folks have been long awaiting.
Anxiously waiting for. We can do a whole other podcast just on dining plans in and of itself. There's 2 options.
There's so much still for us. Genie Plus, and
So
I know a lot
many.
of folks have been wanting to hear more about Genie Plus and how to use Genie. And the dining plans would be a great one. I think as we make our way into 2024, we've kind of set up a
more
pattern
how-tos
of what we're gonna do. So like a tips and tricks episode, a restaurant review episode.
Yeah, more reviews, more resort reviews.
And kind of do a cycle through the first quarter of the year up until the end of April. So we'll see how that works and if folks like that.
Yeah, but definitely making a more, I don't want to say boring, but more informative one of like, this is how you do this is what this is, and more for your planning purposes. And then have ones that, you know, you're unsure about dining or resorts and giving our opinions on it. But there's just so much in 2024 that there's no good reason to not
noting,
go.
Though, that the dining plan, only 2 of the former 3 options on the dining plan are back.
Yes, if you knew dining plans before they went away, there were 3 options. Now there are only 2.
Right. You have your counter service option, which is the 2
quick
counter
service. I'm just saying that's what it's called. It's
quick
called
service, counter service.
Same thing,
whatever.
but it's called quick service dining plan.
You get your 2 counter service meals and a snack a day.
Per person
in your family, yep.
And
then you have a resort refillable mug for the whole trip, not per day.
No, not per day. Whole trip.
And then you have the other, which was the
Disney,
middle dining plan.
Yeah, the Disney dining plan.
Disney dining plan, which gives you a counter service, a sit-down meal, and a snack, and your resort refillable mug.
Per person.
Per person per
per
day.
day.
The old deluxe Disney dining plan, which was 2 sit-downs, is no longer, hasn't come back yet. It'll be interesting to see if it ever does come back.
Yeah. I'll be interested because
of a world in which that one was
sit-down.
so expensive and sit-downs take so long.
That's,
I can't.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if, like, maybe statistically Disney knows something we don't. As far as,
I'm sure
like,
that a lot of
maybe
people did not
do that one. Because that takes up a lot of time and a lot of money. Now, granted, you can go to a very expensive restaurant and have the most expensive thing on the menu and still pay the same price as the dining plan. But 2 sit-downs a day, that's a lot.
It was a lot.
That's a lot of time.
Probably why they haven't.
Like you said,
I don't think that they will bring it back. But
no,
maybe they will.
I think 1 table service and 1 counter service a day might be a lot. 1 table service a day.
I would suggest folks do that plan. That's the plan that I would do. That's the plan that my family
Disney
has
dining?
done in the past. Keep in mind, you get one of those per day. You don't have to use it every day.
Yes, and some of the restaurants, we'll go into this a little later, can sometimes require 2
very expensive ones.
Like meal credits to go towards it. If you're going to like
but it's not as though you have to use your snack, your counter, and your table service in each day.
No.
You get allotted one of those per day.
It's almost like just picking out of the bag.
However you want.
Like you're just kind of using them until the end of your trip.
Right.
So if you just did all snacks one day, you use all your snack credits up, but
usually what would happen with people who do not use their dining plan well is at the end of the trip they would have a ton of extra snacks.
Yeah.
There's ways to avoid that, and I don't suggest doing that because then you're buying just crud when you could have got actual like stuff that would have been valuable.
Well, I think people don't think it's a snack or don't think it's a credit, and then they don't use it and they just buy it, and you're kind of like, no, that was a snack. You could have used it credit, like even for like not a counter service, but like the egg rolls. I'm thinking of like the egg rolls in Magic Kingdom.
Cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll. Yeah, like you can use a snack credit for it. It's not just popcorn and Mickey bars.
Right.
And that's what people I don't think, know about that. But enough about that. We can definitely get into that later since we seem to be passionate about it. Passionate about our food. But that's it for 2024. Wow. Everyone. That's a lot going on. A lot of, 2 resorts getting some
You want to give us the rundown?
Yeah, I'll give you
one more time so that we have folks were not
Reason
paying
number
attention.
one, if you weren't paying attention and you're still here with us, we're going to go backwards here. Reason number one, Fort Wilderness, new cabins and kind of overhaul in the last 50 years. It hasn't been touched, so it's needed. Number two, Polynesian is getting an expansion. Very good for people with GVC. Great new option for them as well. Number three, park reservations are no longer required. Big one. Number four, the new Pirate Tavern in Magic Kingdom. That is going to be a cool one. Number five, Country Bear Jamboree is getting a rehaul of a whole new show. Number, what am I on? Six? Number 6 is just Journey of Water of Moana in the whole World Showcase area. The walls are lifted, and that is beautiful from the pictures I've seen, and really need to go. Number 7, Luminous is the Symphony of Oz new show, fireworks show in Epcot. What am I on? 8?
8.
Oh my gosh. Number 8, Tiana's Bayou Adventure should be done, hopefully. Number 9, dining plans are back. And number 10, all-day park hopping is returning. There's so many reasons.
10 reasons for you to visit in
There they
2024.
are.
So we hope that you will consider visiting Disney in 2024.
I hope so.
So much to see and do, and who knows, maybe we'll visit Disney in 2024.
I already have quite the lineup for 2024, honestly. I've like quite a few clients already for 2024.
Yeah, it's a great year to go. So.
Jump on the bandwagon, people.
As always, folks, if you want to learn more about anything that you've heard today or you want to stay in the know, definitely follow us on our social media accounts. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us at startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. And wishing you all a very happy and healthy 2024.
Of course.
Hopefully I will become healthy again soon. And get over my little cold here. But wishing you all a happy and healthy 2024. And wishing you the best of luck in planning your Disney vacation in 2024.
Well, they won't need luck if they have me. So.
That's a good point. And remember, folks, it all starts with a wish. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.